Hello everyone, welcome back to agricultural science class. I'm Oluwatomisin. In our last class, we discussed about the introduction to agriculture, and we talked about the term definition, the meaning of agriculture, the branches of agriculture, and also the importance of agriculture. In our today's class, we'll be talking about the subsistence and commercial agriculture. What do we mean by the subsistence and commercial agriculture? When looking at this picture, you'd see that there's a lot of difference. See the subsistence agriculture, you see it is those that are even working there looks dirty. That is what subsistence agriculture is all about. It's a hard work. Like you use your bare hands to plant, you use your bare hands to harvest, use your bare hands to uproot the weeds. But in commercial agriculture, it is mainly machineries. Machines does everything. Machines do the planting, machines harvest, machines waters and everything. Let's go into the meaning of subsistence agriculture. Subsistence agriculture is defined as a type of agriculture which is concerned with the production of food by the farmers to keep himself and his family. Subsistence agriculture is just for the farmer and his family to keep themselves. There's no anything about the community. No, it's just for the farmer and his family. Another meaning is a form of agriculture in which nearly all the crops and livestock raised are used to maintain the farmer and his family, with leaving a little or nothing, no surplus to trade on. It's only for the farmer and his family. There's no excess. They don't have excess. They should eat and live. That is just what subsistence agriculture is. It's a form of agriculture that deals only with the production of food and animals for the farmer and his family. But commercial agriculture means the growing of crops for food or raising of animals, and this is to sell the produce and to get in return a profit. Commercial agriculture is for everybody, production of crops and animals for sale. Let's rerun it again. The meaning of subsistence agriculture is production of crops and animals for just the farmer and his family, while commercial is production of crops and animals for profits, for sale. Characteristics of a subsistence agriculture. We say the subsistence agriculture is just for the farmers and his family. Then what are the characteristics of it? It is mostly practiced by peasant farmer, which is the low class farmers, like the farmers that are uneducated. They're the ones that practice the subsistence agriculture. And another characteristic is it involves just a small plot of land. It's just a small plot. It can just be just a little space. That's what they use for this subsistence agriculture. And another characteristic is there is no specialization. There's no special techniques for it. They can use anything to plant their crops. And another characteristic is it employs unskilled labor. Like everybody can be a subsistence farmer, since it doesn't require any skill. There's no particular skill for you to just plant and harvest. Plant, you water it and you harvest. There's no particular skill for this subsistence agriculture. And another characteristic is the return or yield are very low. What they get from this subsistence agriculture is very low. It's not something big. It's just a little, just a change, a little thing that you get from this subsistence agriculture. It involves the use of family labor. It is just the farmers and his family. You go to the farm together, you cultivate together. That's why I say there is no special skill, because it's just mainly for the farmer and his family. Another characteristic is there is no surplus for sale. It is just to eat. There is no surplus. Another characteristic is little capital is involved. little capital, just a little token, just money for seed is what they might need to just plant, and that is all. That's just all for subsistence agriculture. Just little capital is just a little seed. A little seed of a particular plant is what they might need to plant a particular crop. They rely on natural rainfall. They don't do extra. Since it's just to eat, they don't add extras. They only rely on the natural rainfall for their crops. They provide food crops alone, just food crops. Food crops like the maize, vegetables, the maize, beans. Those are vegetables. Those are mostly plants. Food crops they produce. They don't produce carrots. Those ones are extremes. You can't. A subsistence farmer don't go extreme. They only go with the little ones around them. Those are the maize, the beans, vegetables. Those are the little things they work on. They are limited to agrochemicals, insecticides and pesticides. They are limited to it. They don't go extra. Like, how many crops are they planting and they need pesticides for? No, they don't use the agrochemicals. Unimproved varieties of crops and breeds of animals are used. They don't go extreme. Like I earlier said, they don't go extreme. They just deal with the ones they know they can eat. Everybody eats beans, so they plant beans. Everybody eats maize, we plant maize. Everybody eats vegetables, they plant vegetables. That is what subsistence agriculture is all about. Let's rerun the characteristics of subsistence agriculture again. Subsistence agriculture are mostly practiced by peasant farmers. Those are the low-class farmers, and it involves a small plot of land. There's no specialization. It employs unskilled labor. The returns or capital or yields are very low. It involves the use of family labor. It only produces for the basic needs of its family. There's no surplus for sale. Little capital is involved. Very reliance in natural rainfall. It produces food crops alone. They are limited to agrochemicals, the herbicides and pesticides. Unimproved varieties of crops and breeds of animals are used. Problems of subsistence agriculture. What are the problems this subsistence agriculture faced? Number one problem is family labor supply are unreliable. Manpower is always, you can't rely on manpower because they use their strength to work, and any one of them can fall sick anytime. We can't say maybe due to the stress of going to the farm every time. You can't rely on the family labor. They are really unreliable. You can't rely on them. And crude tools are used. Crude tools like the hoes, the cutlass, the rake, the axe. Those are the crude tools they use. Illiteracy of the farmers. The farmers, a farmer doing a subsistence agriculture is, we said a low class. The farmer is an illiterate, doesn't know more, so he will just rely on his little ability to farm. No surplus for sale are one of the problems of subsistence agriculture. Inadequate capital for investment. They can't invest. Subsistence agriculture can't say, I want to invest in one big company. It's not possible. What it does is only for himself and his family, which means it can inquire more due to its inadequate capital for investment. Characteristics of a commercial agriculture. We said a commercial agriculture is a farming system that we produce. That we talk about the commercial agriculture. The commercial agriculture is a farming system where the produce is for sale and is for everybody. And the characteristics, it involves a huge investment of capital or money. When you hear commercial, you know commercial is everybody. Everybody can benefit from. That's what commercial agriculture do. Everybody benefits from what they invest on, and it involves a huge investment of capital or money. They require a large amount of money, a huge amount of money to invest on. It involves the cultivation on a large acres of land. You know, commercial, if someone wants to be producing food for everybody in Nigeria, you should know how big, imagine how big the land would be to be able to produce on, which means the investment for you to be able to get a large acre of land, you know, you need investment. You need to be able to invest. You need to have a capital to invest on, capital for you to have a large acre of land. It also involves the use of hired labor. Use of hired labor. Not anybody can be a commercial agriculture. You have to have knowledge about what you are doing, and you can't just include anybody. The person must know the basics of it. The person must know how to plant. The person must know how to harvest, how to weed, and everything for you to be able to use. That's why they said it involves the use of hired labor. Most operations of commercial agriculture are mechanized. You can't see a farmer or a labor on farm and will be using his hand to uproot. On the commercial agriculture, it's not possible because the lands are huge. There are large acres of land. How many people do you want to put on the large acres of land to be able to uproot or to harvest? It's not possible. So most operations in the commercial agricultures are done with machines. They are mechanized. It employs the use of skilled labor. You know, you hire labor, you hire people that would work for you, and you also employ people that knows how to do it. You don't employ anyone, you employ those that knows how to do it. Improved variety of crops and breeds of animal are used. In commercial agriculture, they plant everything, the pineapples, the fruits, they plant them, varieties of crops and animals. They plant them, unlike the subsistence agriculture, which they deal only with the food crops. But this, they plant varieties of crops, the carrots, the cucumbers, watermelons. They all deal with the commercial agriculture. These are what commercial agriculture plants. They don't plant only the rice or the maize or the beans. No, they go extra. Irrigation systems are practiced in commercial agriculture. They don't deal with rainfall. They do irrigation system, which is the artificial adding of artificial waters on the plants. And this irrigation, there is a deep irrigation, there is a sprinkle irrigations. Those are what commercial agriculture does. Records are kept in commercial agriculture. Records must be kept. If not, they'll go on loss. So they have to keep records. The seedlings they use, the seeds they use, the chemicals they use, they have to keep record of it. Their labors, so they'll be able to pay them. They have to keep records of everything. The machines they use, how they maintain the machines, are those records they have to keep. They use agrochemicals such as the fertilizers, the herbicides, and insecticides. These are what commercial agriculture use. They use the fertilizers. They don't do more on the organic fertilizer. They go with the inorganic too. The pesticide, to be able to control the pests and diseases, they use the pesticide and insecticide. Some can be sprayed, so that's why irrigation system too. Most of the equipment they use for irrigation system, and some of it are what they use to spray their chemicals on the plants. Now we are going to the differences between the subsistence and commercial agriculture. Like we earlier said, subsistence agriculture is just for the farmers and his family, while the commercial agriculture is for everybody, is for sale. What are the differences? Subsistence agriculture, it involves a small plot of land for cultivation, just a small land, just a small place to plant on. But a commercial agriculture involves a large acres of land for cultivation, large acres of land, large, you are doing for the masses. So if you are doing something for many people, you know how big you have to cultivate to be able to acquire your desired amount. You have to cultivate in a large amount. For subsistence agriculture, a little capital is involved in subsistence agriculture, while commercial agriculture involves a huge investment of capital or money. Little capital, subsistence agriculture, what they are doing is just for the farmer's use and his family. So they just need little amounts. And the amounts they need, maybe just money to buy their crude tools and money for their seeds, since they'll be the one to work on it. But in a commercial agriculture, they have to get money to buy the land, money for the land, money for the seeds, money for the machineries, money to hire the laborers and the like. That's why they need a huge investment for the commercial agriculture. In subsistence agriculture, pests and diseases are not controlled. Like farmers, they feel like, I don't care, since it is only for my family to eat. Whatever yield we get on this land, it is what we are going to eat. But a commercial agriculture don't do that. They have to control the pests and diseases, because they really work on it. You can't invest much. You can't invest a lot in a thing and you now allow a pest to destroy it. No. They have to control the pests and diseases to be able to get a good quality of whatsoever produce they are planting. Another difference is between the subsistence and commercial agriculture is subsistence agriculture, it requires little or no farmer education to operate. The farmers don't really need any education to be able to operate a farm. But in a commercial agriculture, they require a special skills and technical education to operate a commercial agriculture. Not everybody can be a commercial agriculture. You have to get a special skill. Maybe it might be the agricultural, person can be an agricultural economist, person might be an animal scientist, person might be a soil scientist, person might even be a crop scientist, to be able to do the commercial agriculture, which means you need a special skill, a technical skill, to be able to do this commercial agriculture. And another difference is produce in the subsistence agriculture is mainly for consumption, while produce in the commercial agriculture is for sale, is mainly for sale. In subsistence agriculture, it's just for the farmer and his family, and it is mainly for their consumption, so they don't need extra. But in commercial agriculture, you produce to sell. Commercial agriculture produce to sell. Another difference between the subsistence agriculture and commercial agriculture is, in subsistence agriculture, crude tools or implements are used. Tools like the cutlass, the hoes, the shovels, the rake, the axe, and the hand fork, the watering cans are used in the subsistence agriculture. But in the commercial agriculture, complex and modern tools and implements are used, like the tractors, the plow, the harvesters are used in the commercial agriculture. In the subsistence agriculture, yield and return are very low. They are very low. You can't say you want to harvest, you want to do a little scale, something little, and you want to get something much from it. It's not possible. But in commercial agriculture, the yields and return are very high. They plant in a large scale, so they have to get something high, something big from it back. And another difference between the subsistence and the commercial agriculture is, in the subsistence agriculture, does not require any special marketing strategies. But in the commercial agriculture, they need a special marketing strategies to be able to, farmers in subsistence agriculture, it's just for the farmers and his family. So they don't need to market any goods. But in the commercial agriculture, they need a special techniques, they need a special strategies to market their goods. That's how you market your goods to entice people to buy what you are selling. Just like the cassava, commercial agriculture, and this is processing of goods too. The processing of goods, if they want to process their goods, they have to process it in the way that when people will see it, they will like it. But in subsistence agriculture, the farmer doesn't care, because it is mainly for him and his family to whatsoever they produce and what they would eat. Another difference between the subsistence agriculture and commercial agriculture is subsistence agriculture involves family labor, while the commercial agriculture involves the use of hard labor. Family labor in subsistence agriculture, in terms of the farmer is just planting for himself and his family, so he doesn't require any labor to do it, just himself and his family. And the commercial agriculture, it involves hired labor. You have to hire people to help you with the tractor. You have to hire an agricultural engineer to help you with the machineries. You have to hire a soil scientist to help you with the soil. You have to hire a crop scientist to help you in times of the crop improvement and the crop protection. Also, in subsistence agriculture, unimproved varieties of crops and breeds of animals are used. They don't improve them, they just plant the ones they see around. But in a commercial agriculture, they have to improve their crops to get something meaningful. They have to improve the breeds of their animals they use to get something meaningful. Let's say in the subsistence agriculture, if they're into, like, let's say the birds, maybe the ends, like the broilers, the layers, they can just get any animals, they cannot get any birds that they can use to get the eggs and that product from the animals. But in a commercial agriculture, the farmer would look for the best of the animals that he can use to be able to get a high return. In our next class, we'll be having the problems of agricultural developments and their possible solution. Thank you.